One of the proxies for strength of product market fit I like to look at is the number of customers that have given me a referral. And I think if you can rely on, you get to a point where, with Carb, when we scaled 0 to 1 million in ARR, it wasn't because we had such an incredible go-to-market channel. And we did have a very good seed, but it was every customer we closed referred us to two customers. And like that contributed 100% to the growth. It wasn't, I was a great salesperson. I showed up and I didn't screw it up. And we had something that everybody wanted so much that they're like, you got to talk to my friend. I want to show you that. I want to show them this. And so I always think of kind of that referral ratio as like a really strong proxy for, am I working on something that, is solving a huge problem, a huge enough problem for people that they're going to tell their friends.
Yeah. And if this question relates to us, then definitely all of the customers right now provide referrals. It's been pretty amazing actually. Our first customer, I would say that maybe provided 10 referrals. The second customer jumped on 2 webinars already. It's been huge wins from them alone.
Mhm.
Um, I'm very grateful for them. And I believe that so they genuinely believe in his product as well. So they're, like I said, they're totally leaning in, and they also see the benefits in us growing also for them, that automatically the system will grow. So maybe to kind of lay out one of the vision ideas that we have is right now is really a safety and security tool, but clinicians are usually working with these people and they might really benefit from an AI automatically surveying certain techniques that are being applied, or maybe certain behaviors, that they may need to document in an electronic health record. That's something that in the future probably is going to be partially automated, at least as well, to help the clinicians because they have so little time right now. So they also see us working towards that, and that's kind of the shared vision that we have with them. But getting back on those referrals, yes, they've all provided referrals. I'm really happy with that. That's also how we came to talk with each other because once you had that newsletter about the referral part, that really hits home for me.
And it was I think for anybody who hasn't listened to it, I'll grab a link and throw it in the show notes. But it was effectively referrals are the best source of customers, and it should always be a strong source. But you get to a point in your network where you've kind of reached a network saturation. You kind of run into this, point, and there's no real right or wrong time to do that. It's just kind of all of your customers have exhausted all the potential referrals they can share, and you kind of hit this like plateau. And I didn't write it to scare anybody, but just to be like hey, this is what I ran into. And I wasn't prepared for it. And so this is something that, folks should be thinking ahead about is like what happens when you kind of hit that plateau of like, we're still growing, but the growth rate flattens out because you've gotten up to $1 million in ARR. And now, a couple of referrals a month doesn't dramatically move the needle. And so like, how do you keep that growth rate growing? And I think a lot of the mistakes I made were, you know, just avoidable mistakes around like simple math and thinking that, hey, we're growing 30% month over month or 100% month over month. That growth rate will continue forever, but it won't, and like it's very easy to say I've got 100% month over month growth. If you went from $1 to $2 or $2 to $4 in MRR, it gets much harder at $1 million, and there's a lot more that goes into it. And so that was the kind of the complexity of the message that I was trying to get across. Was I love that the referral piece spoke to you. I love that referrals have been a huge part of the business. I'm curious what comes next.
Um, we are going to keep doing what we're doing in terms of referrals. So we really try to establish ourselves in the East Coast of the US,
Hmm.
really because that was where the first customer also was, and referral based. Naturally, we expanded there.
Hmm.
We just had our first nationwide conferences. Going to do a lot of follow-ups on that, but we're now really conquering the whole US market. And the focus is going to keep being the human service providers in the US for now. But we're already seeing other verticals that might be interesting for us. For instance, the elderly vertical that you also mentioned might be really interesting once we also add the falling detection.
Hmm.
Um, But like I said, the market potential, the untapped market is still huge. So that's where we're going.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your journey. I really enjoyed getting a chance to kind of get the play-by-play of everything. It sounds like you're working on something really important in protecting people that are vulnerable. And so, yeah, I appreciate the work that you're doing.
Thanks, Colin. Really appreciate it for having me.
If people want to reach out or find out more about Oddity, what's the best way?
You can definitely go to www.oddity.ai. I think that's the best way, and you can easily contact us via one of the buttons.
Love it. Thomas, thank you so much for coming on the show. And thanks to everybody for listening. We'll catch you all next time.
Thank you.
That was great, man.